During the team meeting, my boss announced, "One of you has been selling our client list to our biggest competitor." The conference room went dead silent as everyone's eyes darted around the table trying to figure out who the traitor was among us. Janet, our regional director, stood at the front of the room with a thick folder in her hands and the kind of expression that meant someone was about to get destroyed. She'd called this mandatory meeting for all 12 members of our sales team at 4 p.m. on a Friday, which already felt ominous since Janet usually avoided confrontation. Now, she was staring at each of us individually, letting the accusation hang in the air like a toxic cloud. Over the past 6 months, Pinnacle Solutions has lost 14 major clients to our competitor Tech Forward. She continued, her voice cold. Every single client cited the exact same reasons for switching, using language identical to our internal strategy documents. Someone in this room has been feeding our confidential information to Marcus Webb at Tech Forward, and we have proof. Janet opened the folder and pulled out printed emails that made my stomach drop. She started reading actual correspondence between someone on our team and Marcus Webb, discussing specific client vulnerabilities and upcoming contract renewals that only our inner circle would know about. The emails included attachments of our proprietary client analysis reports, complete with confidential revenue figures and renewal strategies we developed in these exact team meetings. But what made my blood freeze was hearing my own name mentioned in the emails as the source of some information. Marcus was thanking his contact for the intel David provided about the Henderson account and David's insights into the Morrison contract negotiations. I'd never spoken to Marcus Webb in my life, but somehow my name was all over this correspondence, as if I was the one selling secrets to our biggest competitor. I started to protest my innocence, but Janet held up her hand to silence me while she continued reading more emails. Each one contained increasingly damaging information about our clients, our pricing strategies, and our team's personal sales techniques. The worst part was that the emails showed the mole had been paid $127,000 over 6 months for providing insider information that had cost our company nearly $2 million in lost revenue. Janet explained that HR had been conducting a covert investigation for weeks, working with digital forensic specialists to trace the leak. They discovered that someone had been photographing confidential documents after hours and accessing client files from their personal devices outside normal business hours. The evidence pointed to systematic corporate espionage that went far beyond simple information sharing. Janet then dropped the real bombshell by announcing that the emails had been sent from my company laptop using my login Nimnum credentials during times when I was supposedly working late in the office. Security footage showed me staying after hours on multiple occasions that corresponded exactly with when the confidential information was being transmitted to Tech Forward. She showed us timestamps proving that sensitive documents were photographed and emailed from my workstation at 8:47 p.m. on March 15th, 9:23 p.m. on April 2nd, and 7:56 p.m. on April 28th. I remembered those exact dates because I'd been working late to prepare for major client presentations, but I'd never accessed any files outside my own accounts or photographed any documents. The evidence was so damning that even I was starting to question my own memory, wondering if I'd somehow done these things without realizing it. The truth finally emerged when our IT security director revealed that my login credentials had been cloned by someone with administrative access to our computer systems. The real culprit was Janet herself, who had been embezzling money from company accounts and selling client information to cover her tracks and deflect suspicion. She'd been using my late-night work sessions as cover, logging into my computer remotely after I left and conducting her espionage activities using my credentials. The $127,000 in payments from Tech Forward had been going into a secret account Janet controlled, while she systematically destroyed our client relationships to hide her financial crimes. Her elaborate frame-up had included planting fake evidence on my laptop and manipulating security footage timestamps to make it look like I was present during her criminal activities. When federal investigators seized Janet's personal devices 3 days later, they found the real email correspondence planning my setup along with evidence that she'd embezzled over $400,000 from company accounts over 2 years. Janet was arrested for wire fraud, corporate espionage, and embezzlement, receiving 8 years in federal prison while I was promoted to regional director and given a $75,000 settlement for the false accusations. The team meeting that was supposed to expose a traitor had instead revealed that our boss was the real criminal, using her position to frame innocent employees while systematically destroying the company she was supposed to protect.